Let's roll the clock back to 2018 when I experienced the worst day in my trading career ever. We are looking at XRP against USDT in September of year 2018, and I'm gonna share with you a trade that I made during that time, because in this one trade I made all the mistakes that beginners make. First of all, to give you a little bit of context, we were in a very dark bear market during that time. As you can see, XRP went from like $3.35 all the way down to 25 cents. Very tough times for all the holders, but I was a trader, so I was doing just fine. At that point I was already trading full time. Me and my wife were renting an apartment and she wasn't working. I was trading full time, so my income from trading was basically paying our bills. This worked well for a while until this one trade came about. I remember that I was looking at XRP when it was around this level right here, the 30 cents range, and I was looking at it on a very low time frames, and there were divergences on momentum indicators like the RSI, the stochastic, the MACD, which basically signals momentum slowing down. So I figured out that I'm gonna short XRP. Basically we're in a bear market, this thing is pumping, so let's just short this bad boy for a quick profit. I opened a short trade somewhere in this range and this trade instantly went against me. At that point I had already made the first major mistake, which is that I didn't have a hard stop loss. I had a mental stop loss which was like, okay, if I start losing too much money I will just cut it. And this is a mistake that a lot of beginners make. You guys should remember always to have stop losses. Actually, you should know where your stop loss is going to be before you even enter the trade, and after you enter the trade your first job is to place your stop loss on the exchange. I didn't do that, so when the trade started to go against me because the pump was quick, I found myself in a very bad trade, and that's when I made the second major mistake. I started to add to my position. Always remember to never add to a losing position. It's totally fine, and actually it's smart to add to a winning position, but to add to a losing position it's a big no. I didn't understand this at that time, so I kept adding to my position while this thing was just pumping like crazy. I was trading on $11,000 account and these were all the money I had, and this $11,000 I didn't make it from trading. I actually worked abroad 3 different jobs simultaneously for a very long time in order to save this amount, and this was everything I had. I literally had nothing in my bank account. Basically what I was doing at the time is whenever I have profits I would just withdraw it, and that's what I used to pay the bills. I had no other savings than this $11,000, and all of this I put into my trading account to trade with. I was trading on Bitfinex and they were allowing for 3x leverage, meaning that against my $11,000 account I could borrow $20,000 more to trade with, and believe it or not, that's what I did. Since this thing kept going up and I kept adding to my position, I found myself eventually into a $33,000 short trade. At that point I had already made the third major mistake, which is trading without risk management. At that time I didn't even have clue what risk management is, so there was no really way for me to do it properly. What risk management is, it's risking a certain percentage of your account on a single trade. Normally if you are a beginner I would say to risk 1% maximum and ideally less of your account on a single trade. If you are already advanced you can risk more than that. Had I followed this risk management system I wasn't going to lose more than $110 on this one trade, because $110 is 1% of $11,000. But I didn't have a clue what risk management is, so at that point I was already at a $1,000 loss, which is 10 times more than I should have lost. The next major mistake that I made is that I didn't have point of invalidation for this trade, which basically means to have a point where it's clear that you are wrong, so you gotta get out no matter what. I didn't have that. Instead I kept looking for reasons to end up right. I kept saying that it's not possible for this to go up anymore. So instead of taking the $1,000 loss, I kept this trade open, waiting for it to turn in my favor. But it didn't, and it kept going up. Then I made the next mistake. I went on social media, on crypto Twitter, in order to see what the gurus think. And at that time there was a certain person that I really looked up to, and believe it or not, he was also shorting XRP. And this gave me a boost in confidence, because I was like, okay, if this guy who's the trading god, who knows everything everything is in a similar trade like me, well, there is no way this XRP to continue to go up. This thing will dump and we both are gonna make tons of money. And that's a huge mistake, guys. You should never make decisions based on opinions of other traders on social media. That's a big no-no. The last major mistake is that I didn't have a clear trading plan, a clear and easy to follow trading strategy. I was trading with Elliott waves combined with momentum indicators, so I kinda had a strategy, but this is a very discretionary way of trading that doesn't really work. If I had a simple trading strategy with clear entry and exit points, this wasn't going to happen. Anyway, long story short, I got liquidated, guys, and I lost everything. Actually, I dig into my old emails to find this for you, so you can see here September 2018, position near liquidation, eventually I got liquidated. I lost all of my money. Then me and my wife had to move out of our apartment because we had no more money to pay the rent. We also had to go back abroad to find some job to save up some money, and all of this wasn't going to happen had I known what I just shared with you.